things we kind of didn't talk about is we did for the tangentially, but it didn't come out in the discussion is there are barriers to competing on, to be an organization that can compete on analytics. If it is a difficult thing to do, then in itself, competing on analytics is a competitive advantage. But you'll assume that it is new and it is painful, and eventually people will learn how to compete in analytics. But currently there are barriers to competing in analytics. What are some of the barriers, enemies, challenges to competing in analytics? That the book talked about, or anything that you can think of?
Having a strong knowledge base of how to use it.
The lack of would be, the absence would be a barrier, right? So how to, what type of analytics to use? What, yes.
The lack of CEO approval or understanding.
Okay, so not having the sponsorship of the key people. And what else?
Cost. You get over most of those if you can afford it.
So it is costly, it is, especially costs of failure would be very high. Anything else? Yes.
The worst thing is people's own mistakes and their own stupidity. It's nothing else but, them. Sometimes you just need to look yourself in the mirror and be like, oh yeah, I'm dumb.
So being dumb
So.
will be another barrier.
Yeah, because if you cross lines and do things you shouldn't do, and if that's your choice, then you're gonna have to live with it, regardless of how you did it.
Yeah,
Nothing
when
else
Andrew
matters.
came
You can't
and
blame other
said-
people for doing things. It's you. If you do it, it's like, oh, I killed this guy because I didn't think I'd get caught for killing him. No, you killed this guy. That's what matters. It doesn't matter where it was going to go down or how it was going to go down. If you choose to do things and it is exposed, then that's you. That's all you. So
Well, I don't
it's
know
not,
about exposure,
I don't know if
not
it's
doing.
about knowledge. It's more about a lack of intelligence on the firm level. And ethical choices and decisions, and setting yourself up for failure yourself, all yourself. Reaching into the data mines, doing something you shouldn't do, doing something you shouldn't do again and again and again, and having it be the exact thing that may be proposed by the customers. You're dumb, you need to admit it, and whatever you do probably won't work.
Well, IBM did it more and more. If you look back, IBM did it. I wouldn't say Microsoft is doing it, but they have a lot of money, but they have been in that frame of reference. So getting into a comfort zone of doing things that have worked in the past is nothing new. And that's why it is the smaller firms, the agile firms are able to compete with big firms like IBM and Microsoft. Habit is a key to competing on analytics. If you are used to making decisions with intuition and gut feeling, and you believe that it has worked, Palco, it was whatever that company is, at least in the book it was called Palco. It is, you could see the pains it has to go through. It didn't even realize it was losing a lot of money. Andrew, when he came and presented the Birch Company, you would think, why would a bunch of people who are bankers will be in such a position where they're losing a lot of money when they should, at least being bankers, should know this is not working for you. So it is nothing new. It happens again and again. It's a habit. And that needs to be changed. My father-in-law, I set up the online banking stuff for him, but he's always gone to the bank. And he feels secure going to the bank and finding out what the status of the savings are, the online thing scares them. So they have been doing this for 30, 40 years. To do things differently takes a change. And the change needs to happen in a variety of different ways. There's a change management domain, but organizations are used to making decisions in intuition and necessity. That needs to be seen. Nothing to analyze. And if you don't have the data to gain insights from, then you can have all the good people who can analyze your stuff, you can have all the tools, you're not going to get the insight that will lead to competitive advantage, that will lead to you knowing something that your competitors doesn't know.
I was just going to say that a lot of times when people are filling out surveys, they think, well, they're never going to know that this was me, so I can write down what I think looks like the better choice, or is going to look like the more moral choice, or something like that, rather than when you're in an actual situation and you know, spur of the moment do what you actually would do, you know. So
socially favorable responses is what you see in this. What is right? You know, what you know is socially accepted or socially accepted responses. And in terms of, especially in terms of ethics and all, what should be done is reflected in surveys, not what you really do.
Now, this is a typical prisoner card. There are little boxes where all the information is to be punched in. We compare this information to the code sheet for concentration camps. And here you see Auschwitz is 1, Buchenwald 2, Dachau is 3. Now, what kinds of prisoners were they? They could be a Jehovah's Witness for 2, a homosexual for 3, communist for 6, or a Jew would be 8. Now, what was their status? 1 was released, 2 was transferred, 4 was executed, 5 was suicide, and 6. Code 6. Sonderbehandlung, special treatment, meant the gas chamber or sometimes a bullet. They would punch that number in, the material was tabulated, the machines were set, and of course, the punch cards, by the millions, had to be printed, and they were printed exclusively by IBM, and the profits were recovered just after the war.